The longer it goes untreated, the worse it gets. And for me, my life was just spiraling out of control. And I had, loved ones and friends, just loving on me and just trying to talk to me about getting the help that I needed. I think that's why it's so important for us to talk about it, because I didn't know what was going on. And, to be quite frank, I don't think the people around me, up until, the last second, really understood what was going on with me, because they didn't know. Before I was at McLean Hospital, if someone had said mental health to me, the first thing that came to mind was mental toughness and masking pain, hiding, keeping it in. So that's what was embedded in me since I was a kid. Never show a sign of weakness. And it's funny because now I know it's the total opposite. It's being able to have the strength to pick up the phone and ask someone, for help, or to go to your brother. People don't understand this, that it doesn't always have to be a professional or clinician that you run to. It could just be a family member that you say, listen, I'm struggling right now. I told the world that I went to McLean Hospital for 3 months. I was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. I didn't know what to expect, but immediately I began to see healing in other people's lives around me, whether that was my friends and family, other players around the NFL. I even got calls from, executives around the league. That was probably the most stimulating part of it all, and fulfilling part, is that by me stepping up and saying something, other people got the strength to do the same. And that's what it's all about. It's just creating a conversation.
I didn't want to talk about it earlier. Why would I want to seem like this sad sack? Those are all the lies that I told myself. It's like, oh, if I talk about this, even professionally with my job, if I talk about this, people won't want to watch me. It's not important enough. And even now, as I'm hearing myself saying all those things, like, wow, man, I really wish that I would have spoken out earlier, because there's nothing like being able to shine a light on those secrets. Those secrets kill. The secret of keeping all that to yourself and putting on that mask that'll eat away at you daily. It ate away at me daily. It's difficult for men in general, I think, because of just the way that we're raised. You feel any of the negative emotions or that dark cloud settle on you, and you feel like you need to cry out or speak to someone about it. No, I'm not gonna do that, because I'm a man. What kind of man would I sound like if I told somebody, hey, I'm so sad. I'm cripplingly sad. I can't get out of bed. I feel empty. Help me. Psst, I would be some sissy. I'd be soft. That's what you're taught. That's what you were programmed. And that's what kills us. So in speaking about it on ET and being honest, folks have come out of the woodwork. People that I haven't heard from in years, complete strangers, a ton of mostly on Twitter and on Facebook and social media. That's been an amazing gauge of all the love, and so many people, it's echoed the exact same sentiment. Thank you so much for speaking, because I felt that I couldn't.
John Underwood, I'm the director of the American Athletic Institute. In all respects, I think even by middle school age, these young people spend more time with their coach than they spend with their parents. And most parents are both working. They get home from work at the end of the day, and maybe they sit down for a meal, maybe not, and then the kids are off doing their thing, and you're with a coach a long time. Trips, overnight trips for a lot of these kids, and coach can have a huge influence on a young person's life. You know, as far as coaches, the program Life of an Athlete offers a lot. I think it offers a lot of opportunities to discuss things with young people that don't get discussed anymore. Lifestyle, you know, the first pages in an athlete's playbook should be the pages about lifestyle. The cornerstones of being an athlete are that you're living your life in a way that sets you up to be successful. And a lot of coaches aren't talking to kids about this anymore. They make statements to kids like, hey, drugs are bad. Tell them why they're bad. Tell them what it does. And if you don't have the background to breach that subject with your teams and your athletes, the information's available now. You know, Oklahoma Life of an Athlete provides information to coaches where you can say to your team, this is why I'm asking you guys not to be involved in this kind of stuff during your sport year. I also think you coaches greatly underestimate the impact you can have on kids. You know, even if you know you can have an impact, you underestimate it. These guys look up to you. You know, when we did that survey of 30,000 middle school and high school athletes, and they said the number one thing they wanted from their coach was for their coach to be a role model. Boy, I'll tell you, that's something for you coaches never to forget. These young people spend more time with you than they spend with their parents. And, you know, you take them on trips, you're with them a lot. And you have a special relationship with these young people. And you look back, most of you coaches, I could pretty much guess that maybe you had a coach at one time during your life when you were a young person that influenced your life, and maybe that's the reason why you're even coaching today. I certainly had that when I was a young man, and I think that carries over the rest of your life. That you say to somebody, who was one of the most important people in your life besides maybe your mother and father? So many kids would say, my coach, and it's not usually a college coach; it's a high school coach that impacted these young people's lives at a really impressionable time. So, you know, send a message to your team. A serious message, a strong message, and talk specifically about social drug use by athletes. Confront it, no matter what you hear, see, or is brought to you. That's your job as a coach nowadays. I always say to college coaches, you know, they make a living based on the decisions made by 17, 18, 19, and 20-year-old kids. That's pretty scary. Pretty scary thought.